bring Rick Santelli in, because I know he has a viewpoint on this. Mr. Santelli, you've got the floor.
Well, I just think Mr. McTeer, I agree with much of what he says, but I just don't understand why everybody passes the hot potato on whose watch the dollar is. Obviously, we have the Treasury and the Fed using a strategy that will end up with a weaker dollar to fix what ails us. It's pretty straightforward. And whether you talk about disinflation, inflation, the reality of a strategy that isn't worried about a weaker dollar to help float all this extra liquidity is going to take its toll on every commodity denominated in dollars we purchase. And Americans, well, you know, at this point when everybody's nervous about jobs, we don't see jobs coming along.
Rick,
paying for all of this is a big deal.
Rick, if you're to my east and the wind is blowing the tree down from the west, the tree on my property is your problem, my friend.
Listen,
and that
I don't
is
care
part
whose
of the
property it
attitude
is.
of
I
the
want
United
the tree
States
to be
to the
standing
dollar,
up.
Rick.
I want my dollars to have somebody whose job it is to try to protect its cost of living type residual value within the borders of the United States of America.
Wait, you'd be that way. Yeah. Trees falling down on you, Rick. That's the problem. The United States is one of the actually least open economies.
Who is the only entity allowed to print dollars, Steve? Answer my question.
The Federal Reserve.
Okay, so why is it whenever you talk about the dollar, they basically say, it's not my job?
They don't
talk to the Treasury.
That, Rick. That's not true. That's not true, Rick. Actually, they don't say that. You're just making it up, Rick.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, who's the last person from the Fed that talked about how we were going to try to save the value of the dollar, hence keep people's perceived...
They don't talk about saving the value of the dollar. They talk about saving the economy.
I rest my case. Put all the verbiage on it you want.
Rick, they say that your policy goal is the wrong policy goal. That the
I'm not a policy maker. I'm a dollar holder.
You're giving them advice,
and I want them to go up in value.
For what you're saying. You're prescribing policy, and you're saying
I'm describing
that the dollar,
a situation where our leaders dilute my dollars to pay for the sins of everyone.
Rick, the United States is the price maker in the world, not the price taker. You act like we're some
You're getting involved in verbiage, Steve. The Fed doesn't ever talk about what will make the dollar do better. I want to hear that conversation.
The United States economy is the goal.
Viewers, why should we care? Send emails. Why you think Steve ought to care?
The U.S. economy is the thing that is the focus of policy, not
the greenback. And it all depends which cog in the economy you are.
That's
and
true.
The average Joe out there who has dollars in his wallet isn't experiencing a joyous time in life.
They're not buying that French wine like you are. You're the only one who cares.
Forget your wine, Steve. Forget your wine. It isn't about French wine. Whenever you go there, it's because you don't have the right answer.
I do have the right answer,
No, you
Rick.
don't.
All right. We're going to leave it there. That was a great debate, guys. Thank you so much. All in good fun. Mr. McTeer, we really appreciate you joining us today. Steve, Rick, always a good time. Melissa, back over to you.